As the music world mourns the loss of Ozzy Osbourne, who died yesterday, local fans are remembering the time when the Prince of Darkness made a stop in Kitchener exactly 44 years ago today. Let's bring in CTV's Colton Wiens now for more on this. Colton, you spoke with some people who were at Ozzy's local show back on July the 23rd, 1981.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. And for them, it's a memory they won't ever forget. Osbourne had just been kicked out of Black Sabbath and was on his Blizzard of Oz tour for his debut studio album when he played center in the square 44 years ago today. And those who were there say it was a completely different energy in the venue than normal.
Seriously, that's the Scotch tape that I had when I had it taped to the wall of my bedroom.
Al Ridley still has the autographed program from when he saw Ozzy Osbourne play center in the square 44 years ago. Just 15 years old at the time, Ridley was part of a catering group at the event and saw the Prince of Darkness take the stage.
He wasn't this big, huge rock star. He didn't hold court, with his people. And seeing this guy out on stage who suddenly became somebody else, with the white jumpsuit and the white tassels off the arms and the screaming and this was the center in the square.
In a packed theater, Ridley recalls the fists and devil horns in the air and the deafening noise of the music and the crowd.
I was thinking like center in the square, everyone sits in their chairs and they're comfortable and they listen to like the KW orchestra or, cultural events. And here's this rock and roll madman.
And Ridley got an even closer look at the rising star, first seeing his friend's mom in the green room asking Osbourne to stop swearing so much, but later a more personal experience.
Ozzy Osbourne and his manager come walking out and they walk down the hall towards us. I thought, well, this is the opportunity. So I said, hey, Ozzy, can you sign my, my program? Yeah, sure, mate, sure. And he signs the program, gave me a pat on the shoulder, and walked on.
While Ridley didn't think too much of it at the time, it's a memory he cherishes to this day.
Here's my Ozzy book, and that's where I keep, just so you know, that's mine.
Owner of Encore Records Limited, Mark Logan, was also there in 1981, 17 years old and at the front of the packed crowd.
Ozzy, I remember, came out across the stage, shook hands, his hands were really sweaty, and I remember him standing at center stage, shaking and not really moving, like as he's known now for running around and clapping and, go crazy. He was pretty scared.
Calling his passing bittersweet, Logan says customers are now looking for Black Sabbath and Ozzy albums at the store, but as industry experts say, his legacy will always live on.
Every 16-year-old kid that picks up a guitar now is eventually going to get into Black Sabbath and Ozzy. That's just the power of the influence that they have.
Now, another person who attended this show in 1981 tells me expectations were high and Ozzy delivered, saying they recall the theater didn't book any rock shows for quite a while after that. Last night, artists like Alice Cooper, Coldplay, and Lady Gaga performed tributes for Osbourne in their respective shows. And despite the moniker Prince of Darkness, Osbourne's influence in all music lives on. Tony.
Certainly does, Colton, and some great local memories there too. Appreciate that. CTV's Colton Wiens joining us live.